In this video, I'm going to try to explain what public key cryptography or asymmetric cryptography is. This is a tough concept, so bear with me. Public key cryptography or asymmetric cryptography is a cryptographic system that uses pairs of keys, public keys and private keys, to create and maintain cryptographically secure communications between two parties that are communicating through a medium that is under surveillance by adversaries. So let's take this example. Let's say you want to send a friend a secure message through an email service like Gmail. Well, in this one, we're going to be using Proton Mail. So you use Proton Mail, and you send an email in Proton Mail. But every email you send in Proton Mail is viewable by Proton Mail. Okay? So how do you solve this problem? You can't physically meet your friend to exchange symmetrical encryption keys, and you can't exchange symmetrical encryption keys through any other communication medium because they're all being monitored by third-party adversaries. So you need to figure out a way to send an encrypted message to your friend that he can decrypt over a medium of communication that is being monitored by adversaries. How do you do this? Well, this is where PGP tool comes in. And we're just going to do how to Linux and Proton, additional comments. Billy, select algorithm, RSA, select key size, select expiration date, and passphrase. And we're just going to put something simple. Okay. So we go to this tool right here, this website, PGP tool, and we're going to create a public key pair. We're going to create two pairs of keys, a public key and a private key. Okay. So, okay. And we're going to generate these keys. Boom. So now we just generated a public key. Now I'm going to take this public key, Control A, Control C, and I'm going to email myself, but I'm going to pretend that it's somebody else. Public key. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So all this, what is this? You see this big giant mass of garbage, right? All this random strings of data. Well, what does this actually mean? Well, this is called a public key block. And what it is it's basically a really complex encryption algorithm thingamajig math program formula thing that tells this thing, the PGP tool, tells this program how to encrypt or decrypt, right? So this public key block is going to be telling this program how to encrypt data, whereas the private key is going to be showing how to decrypt data. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's send it to ourselves. When it feels like it. We're going to go to decrypt. Oh, no, we're actually going to go to encrypt. There we go. What is this thing? There we go. Public key block. Okay. So we go to public key block. And we're going to copy and paste, right? So this is a formula, right? Basically, my buddy has just sent me this big giant mass of garbage, right? This big giant mass of garbage. And what this big giant mass of garbage is it is a formula. It is an instruction manual to tell this program how to encrypt things, right? So my message is the attack begins at 6:15 a.m. Okay, that's my message, right? The attack begins at, whatever, the paintball attack. The paintball attack begins at yada yada yada. Okay, so see this, all this mass. This is a formula to encrypt this text in such a way that it can only be decrypted by the private key. Okay, so we're going to encrypt the message. Managed, successfully encrypted. Boom. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy. Okay, I'm going to message myself back. Okay. Encrypted message. Okay. And that's the encrypted message. I'm going to send it to me. Oh, come on. It's going to take a moment because it's Proton Mail. Bingo. So now this is the encrypted message. I take the encrypted message, Control C. I'm going to go back to PGP tool. Copy. We're going to go to decrypt. Okay. And we're going to put our private key. Okay. So there's the private key. There's the encrypted PGP message. We're going to enter our passphrase. Now we're going to decrypt the message. Okay. The paintball attack begins at 6:15. So that's what it is. See, this public key is just a formula. It's just an instruction manual to tell the PGP program how to encrypt things in such a way, right, in such a formula that it can only be decrypted by this private key. That's what it means. Now, if you see somebody, so let's say you see somebody wants to on the dark web wants to release a message. Well, how do you tell that, right? How do you tell that? Well, they're going to release a message that they encrypted with their private key, right? Because the formula that I just told you just works exactly in reverse, right? They're going to encrypt the message with the private key, right? And then if I've released my public key, right, and I release a message encrypted with the private key, then only the public key can decrypt the message, verifying that whoever made the message has access to the private key, which is only me. So that's how it works, right? That is public key cryptography. Now I don't know what sign or verify means, and that's a whole nother day that's a whole nother fight for a whole nother day. But that is the rough idea of what public key cryptography is, right? It just means like the public key and the private key just basically mean that it's encrypting things in such a way that one key encrypts things only in such a way that the other key can decrypt it. And that's my little video for today.